Access your free language gifts right now before they expire. Here's what you're getting this month. First, the Buying Electronics Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn how to talk about electronics and what phrases to use at the store. Download it for free right now. Second, our printable visual flashcards. Want to speak more of the language? You'll need to learn more words. And with our new printable visual flashcards, you'll know over 1,500 words. Just download and print them out. Third, 30 must-know legal vocabulary. Learn how to say court, law, illegal, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fourth, how to talk about feeling excited. If you want to talk about your feelings, then this next lesson will teach you 13 words for excitement in just a few minutes. Fifth, must-know Mother's Day vocabulary. Can you say Mother's Day in your target language? You'll be able to with this quick 1-minute vocabulary lesson. Sixth, tired of apps that just teach you random words? With our innovative language learning app, you learn through conversations and start speaking in minutes because the audio and video lessons are just 3 to 15 minutes long. Learning is that easy. Download it for free for the Android, iPhone, and iPad. And finally, the deal of the month. If you want to finally master the language with lessons by real teachers and our complete language learning program, get up to 35% off with our Ready, Set, Speak sale. To get your gifts and language learning resources, click the link in the description below. Download them right now before they expire.
Welcome to the Korean whiteboard lesson. My name is Keijin. 안녕하세요, Keijin입니다. In this lesson, you will learn how to talk about the weather in Korean. In particular, the words we use to indicate the weather conditions. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary. The first is 눈이 오다. 눈이 오다. 눈이 오다. It means snowy, to snow. 눈 means snow. It's a noun. 이 is subject marking particle. 오다 means to come. So it literally means snow comes. 눈이 오다. In English, it's just snowy or to snow. Next word we have is 비가 오다. 비가 오다. 비가 오다. 비 means rain. It's the noun. 비. 가 is subject marking particle. 오다, again, it means to come. So 비가 오다 literally means rain comes. And in English, it's just rainy or to rain. Next word we have is 흐리다. 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 It means cloudy. It's an adjective. 흐리다. Next we have 막다. 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 It means sunny. Next we have 바람이 많이 불다. It's very long. It means windy. Let's break down the sentence. 바람이 많이 불다. 바람 means wind. It's a noun. 이, again, is a particle, subject marking particle. 많이, it means a lot, very much. It's an adjective. 불다 means to blow. It's a verb. 불다, to blow. So it literally means wind blows a lot. Wind blows a lot, which is windy. In Korean, we don't have just one adjective to say windy. So we say with this long word. 바람이 많이 불다. Let's look at the dialogue. Imagine someone asking a digital assistant called Pico for weather information. When I read, I want you to pay attention to the weather phrase. See how it's used in the dialogue. 피코, 오늘 날씨 어때? 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. 오후에는 비가 옵니다. Listen once again. 피코, 오늘 날씨 어때? 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. 오후에는 비가 옵니다. Did you understand? And did you find the weather phrase that we learned together? Okay, so first sentence is 피코. 오늘 날씨 어때? 피코 is the name of the digital assistant. 오늘 날씨 어때? 오늘 today. 오늘 today. 날씨 weather. 날씨 어때? 어때? It means how is or how about. How's the weather today? 피코 오늘 날씨 어때? 피코 how's the weather today? Next we have 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. 오전 means morning is AM. 오전 에는 is like in the. So 오전에는 becomes in the morning. 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. We just learned it, right? 눈이 옵니다. Snow comes in the morning, or in natural English, it will be it's snowy in the morning. How about this? 오후에는 오후 is afternoon, is PM. 오후에는 is in the afternoon. 오후에는 비가 옵니다. Rain comes, or is rainy, rain. It's rainy in the afternoon. Let's look at more examples. 오전에는 흐립니다. 오전에는 흐립니다. 오전에는 흐립니다. It means it's cloudy in the morning. 흐립니다 means cloudy. 오후에는 막습니다. 오후에는 막습니다. 오후에는 막습니다. It means it's sunny in the afternoon. 오전에는 바람이 많이 붑니다. 오전에는 바람이 많이 붑니다. It's windy in the morning. 오후에는 막습니다. Again, we learned here. 오후에는 막습니다. 오후에는 막습니다. It means it's sunny in the afternoon. Now, let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is used in the structure in the dialogue. So, 오전에는 weather expression. 오전, it means morning. 에는, so 오전에는 means in the morning. And we used this weather expression. And how about this? 오후에는, 오후 is afternoon, and 오후에는 is in the afternoon. And then we use the weather expression. You saw this pattern in the dialogue and examples, right? But have you noticed? We learned 눈이 오다, 비가 오다, 흐리다. We used this 다 form in the vocabulary, but in the dialogue and examples, there's no 다 form. The form is different. 눈이 오다, 눈이 옵니다. Yes, this is the dictionary form. In Korean, we don't use the dictionary form directly when we speak. So how do we do? What should we do? We change this form to a different conjugation. The common one is 아, 어, 여 form. This is pretty informal. So to make it polite, you put 요. We use this form. Another form is 씁니다. 씁니다. This is formal. This is formal. But when you start learning Korean, lots of textbook will probably teach this 씁니다, this formal form first. Why? Because the conjugation is much easier. So let's practice this one. This will be very easy, so please don't worry. So how do we do that? So for example, if verb stem or adjective stem ends with a vowel, then you use 비읍 니다. And if verb stem or adjective stem, the stem end with a consonant, so vowel and consonant, then you are going to use 씁니다. 씁니다. Okay, so let's look at some example. 눈이 오다. 눈이 오다. What's the stem here? What's the verb stem or adjective stem? What's the stem? Just remove 다. Remove 다 at the end. Then you only have 오. 오 is the stem of the verb. 눈이 오. 눈이 오. It ended with vowel sound, so we are using this as 옵니다. It was just 오, right? So I just put 비읍니다. The pronunciation is 옵니다. So 눈이 옵니다. 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. It's snowy in the morning. How about this? 비가 오다. What's the stem? Again, remove 다 at the end. Then you only have 오. Oh, it ended with vowel sound. So again, I'm using 비읍니다. 비읍니다 as 비가 옵니다. It rains or it is rainy. 비가 옵니다. How about this? 흐리다. 흐리다. Remove 다 at the end, then you have 흐리 only. 흐리, 이. It ended with vowel again, so we are using this. 흐림리다. So there's just 흐리, but I put 비읍 at the bottom and then just put 리다. 흐립니다. How about this? 막다. 막다. Remove 다 and you got the verb stem here or adjective stem here. 막. 막. It ended with consonant, so we are using 씁니다 here. So it should be 막습니다. It means it's sunny. How about this? 바람이 많이 불다. Remove 다 at the end, then you have 불 only. So is it 불 ended with consonant, so it should be 불습니다? Actually, no, this is an exception. So unfortunately, you just have to memorize it. This is it. Real irregular verb. So 불다 becomes 붑니다. So please just remember this doesn't follow the regular rule. It's an exception. So 옵니다. 눈이 옵니다. 비가 옵니다. 흐립니다. Meaning to be cloudy is cloudy. 막습니다 is sunny. 바람이 많이 붑니다, which we learned here. So 바람이 많이 붑니다 means it's windy. Do you remember how to say morning? 오전. And how to say to snow or snowy? 눈이 오다. Do you remember how to say it is snowy in the morning? 오전에는 눈이 옵니다. Do you remember how to say afternoon? 오후. And how to say to rain or rainy? 비가 오다. Do you remember how to say it is rainy in the afternoon? 오후에는 비가 옵니다. And how to say cloudy? 흐리다. Do you remember how to say sunny? 막다. And how to say windy? 바람이 많이 불다. 바람이 많이 불다. That's it for this lesson. In this lesson, we've learned basic expressions to describe the weather conditions in Korean. Thank you for watching the video. I'm Kejin and I'll see you on KoreanClass101.com. 다음 시간에 봐요. Hi everyone! Welcome to another Korean word bowl lesson. My name is Kejin. 안녕하세요, Kejin입니다. In this lesson, you will learn how to talk about hobbies in Korean. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary. The first is 캠핑하다. 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 To camp. 독서하다 means to read. 독서하다. 독서하다. To read. 사진을 찍다. It means to take pictures. 사진을 찍다. Do you know this 을? 을 is object marking particle, and when we speak, we often omit this. That's why I put in this bracket. So 사진을 찍다. 사진을 찍다. Or 사진 찍다. 사진 찍다. How about this? To travel. 여행하다. 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 To travel. Next we have is 음악을 듣다. To listen to music. 음악을 듣다. 음악을 듣다. Again, I omitted this particle. 을, object marking particle, 을. Because again, we commonly omit 을, object marking particle, when we speak. So you can just say 음악 듣다. 음악 듣다. But the full pattern, full form is 음악을 듣다. The next we have is 테니스를 치다. 테니스를 치다. 테니스를 치다. It means to play tennis. 테니스를 치다. Again, you can omit 를 here, which is another object marking particle. 를. So you can just say 테니스 치다. 테니스 치다. 테니스 치다. I said object marking particle, but it's using 을 and 를. There are two kinds of object marking particles. Why? Do you see this? 사진, 사진, 사진을. 사진 end with consonant. So I'm using 을 here. 을. What if 음악, 음악 here? 음악, it also ends with consonant. So I'm using 을 as 음악을. How about this? 테니스, 테니스, It ended with vowel sound, so I'm using 를 here. So when the word ends with consonant, then you are using 을. What if it ends with vowel? Then you are using 를. So there are two kinds of object marking particle which can be omitted very commonly when we speak. The next we have is 등산하다. 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 It means to mountain climb or climb a mountain. Do you see a lot of 하다 in this verb, such as 캠핑하다, 독서하다, 여행하다, 등산하다? Yes, 하다 verb is very common. But when you omit 하다, it becomes noun. So camping, it means camping. It's from the English word, right? It's a long word. 독서, it means reading. Again, it's a noun. 여행, it means trip. 등산 means climbing. So it's also a noun. So noun plus 하다 verb usually very often becomes a verb. So please remember this. These are really important. Now let's look at the sentence pattern. As you probably noticed, this pattern was used in all expressions in today's lesson. So sentence pattern is verb stem 는 거예요. Verb stem 는 거예요. It means it's noun phrase. So these are just verb. So when you answer, it's noun. This is how we Korean people say. And there are several ways to make the noun phrase, noun form. For example, there is 기 or 미음 or And the other form is 는 거. 는 거. There are several forms, but among these, 는 거 is most commonly used, and that's why we chose this one. So let's see how you can conjugate this verb with 는 거 form. 는 거. So we only need to take the verb stem. What is the verb stem? Verb stem is very simple. For example, 캠핑하다, 캠핑하다. Did you hear the sound? It ended with 다 sound, right? 다. All Korean verb and adjective ends with 다. Just remove 다 and the left part. Without 다, the left part is the verb stem. For example, remove 다. 캠핑하 is the verb stem. So verb stem plus 는 거예요. So if you say it's camping is 캠핑하는 거예요. 캠핑하는 거예요. It means it's camping. Let's look at the dialogue. When I read, I want you to pay attention to the verb that you learned today. Find what the verb is and see how it's used in the dialogue. 취미가 뭐예요? 캠핑하는 거예요. Again. 취미가 뭐예요? 캠핑하는 거예요. 취미가 뭐예요? 캠핑하는 거예요. 취미가 뭐예요? It means what's your hobby? 취미 means hobby. 뭐예요 means what is. So hobby, what is? 취미가 뭐예요? And here the particle 가 is also used. Next, 캠핑하는 거 that we just learned here in the sentence pattern, right? 캠핑하는 거예요. 캠핑하는 거 is from 캠핑하다, the verb 캠핑하다, and then 는 거 makes camping to camp as camping, the noun form. 거예요 means it is. Let's look at more examples. 독서하는 거예요 is reading. 독서하는 거예요. 독서하는 거예요. This is from the verb 독서하다. 독서하다. We learned it today, right? It means to read. So 독서하다, remove 다 and just say 독서하 plus 는 거예요. 독서하는 거예요. It's reading. Next, 사진 찍는 거예요. Is taking pictures. 사진 찍는 거예요. 사진 찍는 거예요. We learned this expression, right? 사진을 찍다 or 사진 찍다. And just remove 다. So you only have 사진 찍, right? And just put 는 거예요. 사진 찍는 거예요. 사진 찍는 거예요. Next we have 여행하는 거예요. It means it's traveling. 여행하는 거예요. 여행하는 거예요. It's from the verb 여행하다. Remove 다, then you only have 여행하, right? Just put 는 거예요. 여행하는 거예요. 여행하는 거예요. Next we have 음악 듣는 거예요. 음악 듣는 거예요. 음악 듣는 거예요. It's listening to music. Again, it's from the phrase that we just learned. 음악을 듣다 or 음악 듣다, 음악 듣다. Remove 다 at the end. So you only have 음악 듣 and just put 는 거예요. 음악 듣는 거예요. 음악 듣는 거예요. Next we have 테니스 치는 거예요. As playing tennis. 테니스 치는 거예요. 테니스 치는 거예요. It's from the phrase that we learned. 테니스를 치다. 테니스를 치다. or 테니스 치다. 테니스 치다. And remove 다 at the end. Then you only have 테니스 치. Right? 테니스 치. And put 는 거예요. 테니스 치는 거예요. 테니스 is from the English word, right? Tennis. And 치다, 치다, or 치는 is from the verb 치다, which means to hit. To hit. So it literally means you hit the tennis. In English, you use play for many different sports like soccer, tennis, badminton. But in Korean, we don't use this 치다 verb for all kinds of sports verb. Like soccer, no, we use 하다 verb. Badminton, it actually hit the ball like this. So we say 배드민턴을 치다. So you have to see which sport do you use this 치다 verb. So another example can be 탁구, meaning ping-pong. So 탁구, 핑퐁. 탁구를 치다. Play ping-pong. Next we have is 등산하는 거예요. 등산하는 거예요. 등산하는 거예요. Is climbing a mountain or is mountain climbing. 등산하는 거 is from the verb 등산하다. 등산하다. Remove 다 at the end that you only have 등산하. Just put 는 거예요 at the end. So 등산하는 거예요. That is mountain climbing. According to recent statistics, the most popular hobby in Korea is mountain climbing. 70% of Korean territory is covered with mountains, so if you like climbing, you will have a lot of fun in Korea. There are many mountains you can climb, even in Seoul, the biggest city in Korea. The second most popular hobby is listening to music, and the third is exercising. Do you remember how to say to camp? 캠핑하다. 캠핑하다. And how to say is camping? 캠핑하는 거예요. 캠핑하는 거예요. Do you remember how to say to read? 독서하다. 독서하다. And how to say to take pictures? 사진을 찍다. 사진을 찍다. Do you remember how to say to travel? 여행하다. 여행하다. And how to say to listen to music? 음악을 듣다. 음악을 듣다. Do you remember how to say to play tennis? 테니스를 치다. 테니스를 치다. And how to say to climb a mountain? 등산하다. 등산하다. Do you remember how to say to exercise? 운동하다. 운동하다. In this lesson, we've learned how to talk about hobbies in Korean. Thank you for watching the video. That's it for this lesson. I'm Kjin, and I'll see you on KoreanClass101.com. 다음 시간에 봐요. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 김계진입니다. Hi, everyone. I'm Kjin Kim. In this lesson, you'll learn how to order two or more of something while pointing at a menu.
This is Karen Morris, and she's waiting in line at a coffee shop with her husband. The barista turns to Karen and says, "Are you ready to order?"
주문하시겠어요?
Listen to the conversation and focus on Karen's response. Ready?
주문하시겠어요?
이거 2인분 주세요.
Once more with the English translation.
주문하시겠어요?
Are you ready to order?
이거 2인분 주세요.
2 of these, please.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how the waiter says, "Are you ready to order?"
주문하시겠어요?
This is a standard way of prompting a customer for an order.
주문하시겠어요?
Literally, you order will, but translates as, "Are you ready to order?"
주문하시겠어요? 주문하시겠어요?
is from,
주문하다,
meaning to order.
주문하다.
In Korean places of business, including restaurants and convenience stores, complex Korean phrases are commonly used to show respect to the customer. Even as a beginner, you should be aware of them, as you will hear these phrases in daily life. Altogether, it's
주문하시겠어요?
literally, you order will, but translates as, "Are you ready to order?"
주문하시겠어요?
At this point in your language learning journey, remember this as a set phrase.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Karen says, "2 of these, please"?
이거 2인분 주세요.
First is
이거,
this.
이거, 이거,
Next is the Sino-Korean number
이,
2.
이, 이,
After this is
인분,
meaning serving.
인분, 인분.
Note, this counter serves as a unit for measuring a quantity as a portion per person. Last is the phrase,
주세요,
please.
주세요, 주세요, 주세요.
Is from the verb
주다,
to give.
주다.
Altogether, it's
이거 2인분 주세요.
this literally means, "This 2 servings give, please," but translates as, "2 of these, please."
이거 2인분 주세요.
Note, the object marking particle following
이거,
is omitted. Omitting understood information is common in Korean. The pattern is
이거, number, 인분 주세요.
number of these, please.
이거, number, 인분 주세요.
To use this pattern, simply replace the number placeholder with the number of items you're requesting. Note the counter
인분,
requires the use of Sino-Korean numbers. Imagine you'd like 3 of something.
3,
3.
3, 3.
Say, 3 of these, please. Ready?
이거 3인분 주세요.
3 of these, please.
이거 3인분 주세요.
The counter in this dialogue,
인분,
serving, pairs with Sino-Korean numerals as it originates from these Chinese characters. Please note, however, that not every counter pairs with Sino-Korean numerals.
What are counters? In Korean, counters are words you pair with a number to indicate the type of thing you are counting. In particular, the counter used often depends on the shape of the object. For example, 장 is used for flat objects like napkins or papers. 자루 is used for long objects like pencils.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
이거 2인분 주세요. 이거 2인분 주세요.
이거 3인분 주세요. 이거 3인분 주세요.
이거 4인분 주세요. 이거 4인분 주세요.
이거 1인분 주세요. 이거 1인분 주세요.
이거 2인분이랑 이거 1인분 주세요. 이거 2인분이랑 이거 1인분 주세요. Did you notice how I used a different pattern? 이거 2인분이랑 이거 1인분 주세요.
2 of these and 1 of these, please. When pointing out multiple items, you can join them with the conjunction,
이랑,
meaning and.
이랑,
Altogether,
이거 2인분이랑 이거 1인분 주세요.
2 of these and 1 of these, please.
이거 2인분이랑 이거 1인분 주세요.
You should be aware of this pattern, but you won't need it for this lesson. Let's review the new words.
3,
3,
3, 3, 4,
4,
4, 4, 1,
1,
1, 1. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say please? 주세요. 주세요. And the counter for serving? 인분. 인분. Do you remember how to say this? 이거. 이거. Do you remember how Karen Morris says, 2 of these, please?
이거 2인분 주세요.
이거 2인분 주세요. Do you remember how to say to order? 주문하다. 주문하다. Do you remember how the waiter says, "Are you ready to order?"
주문하시겠어요?
주문하시겠어요? Do you remember how to say one in Sino-Korean numbers? 1 And how to say 3? 3 And how to say 4? 4
Let's practice. Imagine you're Mark Morris, and you're at a restaurant. You see a picture of a dish you'd like to try. Respond to the waiter by saying, "One of these, please." Ready?
주문하시겠어요?
이거 1인분 주세요.
Listen again and repeat.
이거 1인분 주세요. 이거 1인분 주세요.
Let's try another. Now imagine you want to order 3 of something. Ready?
주문하시겠어요?
이거 3인분 주세요.
Listen again and repeat.
이거 3인분 주세요. 이거 3인분 주세요.
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Karen Morris, and you want to order 4 of something. Ready?
주문하시겠어요?
이거 4인분 주세요.
Listen again and repeat.
이거 4인분 주세요. 이거 4인분 주세요.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to comment on a joke. After watching this video, you'll be able to compliment or criticize anyone on their sense of humor. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
하하, 정말 웃겨요.
Once more with the English translation.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
하하, 정말 웃겨요.
Haha, you're so funny. First of all, let's listen to the joke again. Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems. That's
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
Listen to it again.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요. 수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
Now, how do you react to a joke? First, you'll need to learn how to say ha ha. That's
하하, 하하,
Then you'll need to learn how to say you're so adjective. The pattern is
정말,
adjective. This Korean sentence literally translates as really adjective. But it means you're so adjective. For example, you're so funny.
정말 웃겨요. 정말 웃겨요.
Here are a few more words you can use with the same pattern. Funny,
웃겨요. 웃겨요.
funny,
웃겨요.
awesome,
대단해요. 대단해요.
awesome,
대단해요.
boring,
지루해요. 지루해요.
boring,
지루해요.
strange,
이상해요. 이상해요.
strange.
이상해요.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 대단해요.
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
You're so awesome.
정말 대단해요.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 지루해요.
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
You're so boring.
정말 지루해요.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 이상해요.
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
You're so strange.
정말 이상해요.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember what the joke was?
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
Imagine you think it was awesome. Do you remember how to say awesome?
대단해요. 대단해요.
Say, you're so awesome.
정말 대단해요.
Now, react to the joke saying the other person is awesome.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 대단해요.
Now imagine you think it was boring. Do you remember how to say boring?
지루해요. 지루해요.
Say, you're so boring.
정말 지루해요.
Now, react to the joke, saying the other person is boring.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 지루해요.
Now, imagine you think it was strange. Do you remember how to say strange?
이상해요. 이상해요.
Say, you're so strange.
정말 이상해요.
Now, react to the joke, saying the other person is strange.
수학책이 왜 슬퍼 보일까요? 문제가 많기 때문이에요.
정말 이상해요.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Korean whiteboard lesson. My name is Keijin. 안녕하세요, Keijin입니다. In this lesson, you'll learn how to talk about your well-being in Korean. Let's get started. So, if you know how to say yes, I've been well, you want to know how to say other words today. Oh, I've been so-so, or no, I haven't been well. So you only need to know these 4 words. First, 잘, that's what we just learned here. 잘, 잘, it means well. 잘, 아주 잘, 아주 잘, 아주 잘, it means very well. 아주 means very. 아주 잘, very well. Next, 그냥, 그렇게, 그냥, 그렇게, it means so-so. 그냥 means just, and 그렇게 means like that. So it literally means just like that. In English, it's like so-so. 그냥 그렇게. Next, we have 잘못. 잘못. We just learned 잘 here, right? It's well. 못 means not. So 잘못, it means not well. 잘못, 잘못. Okay, so let's look at the dialogue. 잘 지냈어요? 네, 잘 지냈어요. Listen one more time. 잘 지냈어요? 네, 잘 지냈어요. It's a very common way to ask, have you been well? 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지냈어요? Have you been well? So it's like, how are you? Or how have you been? 잘 지냈어요? And the answer would be, yes, I've been well. 네, 잘 지냈어요. 네, 잘 지냈어요. Yes, I've been well. I'm fine. I'm doing great. 네, 잘 지냈어요. So this is a really common way to say, how have you been? There's another way to ask, how are you? Which is, 잘 지내요? This one is like, how are you? So the person is asking your current status. This one is asking, how have you been? So your past. 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지내요? And as you can see here, you can see you at the end of the sentence. You makes the sentence polite. So if you want to say this sentence to your friends or someone who you're very close to or someone who is younger than you, you probably omit you here like this and ask, 잘 지냈어? Or 잘 지내? The answer will be, 응, 잘 지냈어. Without you. The answer will be, 응, 잘 지내. So this is how you ask your well-being, how you ask well-being to other people in Korean. So let's look at the examples. First, we have 네, 잘 지냈어요. This is what we learned in the dialogue today, right? So, yes, I have been well. 네, yes, 잘 means well. 지냈어요, I spent or I have been. Yes, I've been well. How about this? 네, 아주 잘 지냈어요. So we put this 아주 잘 here. So 아주 잘 지냈어요. Yes, I've been very well. 네, 아주 잘 지냈어요. How about this? 아니요, 그냥 그렇게 지냈어요. No, I've been so-so. 아니요, 그냥 그렇게 지냈어요. So 아니요 means no, 그냥 means just, 그렇게 like that. So just like that. I've been just like that. So it's I've been so-so or it wasn't so good. But it wasn't really bad, but it wasn't so-so. It wasn't good. So it's like I've been so-so. How about this? 아니요, 잘못 지냈어요. No, I have not been well. 아니요, 잘못 지냈어요. So when someone asks you, how are you, how have you been, you can answer this way. So you can choose one of them and answer, 네, 잘 지냈어요. Or, 아니요, 그냥 그렇게 지냈어요. Okay, so how can you use this vocabulary in the sentence pattern? So let's look at the pattern first. 네 or 아니요. Adverb that we just learned here and 지냈어요. So 네 means yes, 아니요 means no. 네 or 아니요. I've been adverb. So 지냈어요 literally means spent. It's a past form of spent, which is 지내다, 지내다. So you're talking about your past. No, I haven't been well. Yes, I've been well. So it means spent or past, past. So in English, it will be more like I have been. And adverb, you just need to put this adverb here. Do you remember how to say well? 잘, 잘. And how to say I've been well? 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. Do you remember how to say yes? 네. 네. And how to say yes, I've been well? 네, 잘 지냈어요. 네, 잘 지냈어요. Do you remember how to say very well? 아주 잘. 아주 잘. And how to say so-so? 그냥 그렇게. 그냥 그렇게. Do you remember how to say not well? 잘못. 잘못. That's it for this lesson. In this lesson, we've learned how to talk about your well-being in Korean. Thank you for watching the video. I'm Kejin and I'll see you on KoreanClass101.com. 다음 시간에 봐요.
How are your Korean listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
한 남자와 한 여자가 대화 중입니다. 인터뷰는 몇 시에 시작합니까? 구직 활동은 어때?
좋아. 사실 나 내일 인터뷰 있어.
아, 정말? 인터뷰 후에 커피 한 잔 할까?
응, 물론이지. 그런데 인터뷰가 7시에 시작해서 꽤 늦을 것 같아.
그럼 인터뷰 하기 전에는 어때?
좋은 생각이야. 그럼 4시에 만나자.
인터뷰는 몇 시에 시작합니까? 한 남자와 한 여자가 대화 중입니다. 인터뷰는 몇 시에 시작합니까? 구직 활동은 어때?
좋아. 사실 나 내일 인터뷰 있어.
아, 정말? 인터뷰 후에 커피 한 잔 할까?
응, 물론이지. 그런데 인터뷰가 7시에 시작해서 꽤 늦을 것 같아.
그럼 인터뷰 하기 전에는 어때?
좋은 생각이야. 그럼 4시에 만나자.
How are your Korean listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
한 남자가 여자와 함께 오늘 일정에 대해서 이야기하고 있습니다. 여자는 무엇을 할 것입니까?
오늘 비즈니스 미팅이 있으니까 우선 나가서 음료수를 좀 사오세요. 그리고 자료들을 전부 다 인쇄하는 것도 잊지 말고요. 그 다음에 우체국에 가서 편지를 좀 붙여줄래요? 오후 5시까지 문을 여니까 비즈니스 미팅이 끝나고 가면 될 것 같네요.
네, 그렇게 하겠습니다. 여자는 무엇을 할 것입니까? 한 남자가 여자와 함께 오늘 일정에 대해서 이야기하고 있습니다. 여자는 무엇을 할 것입니까?
오늘 비즈니스 미팅이 있으니까 우선 나가서 음료수를 좀 사오세요. 그리고 자료들을 전부 다 인쇄하는 것도 잊지 말고요. 그 다음에 우체국에 가서 편지를 좀 붙여줄래요? 오후 5시까지 문을 여니까 비즈니스 미팅이 끝나고 가면 될 것 같네요.
네, 그렇게 하겠습니다.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how tipping points will bring you closer to your language goals. If you've been learning a language for some time, you know that real progress takes time, that you won't see instant results in the next 5 minutes. And this can be discouraging for many learners. But don't worry, there are secret signs of success that you're on the right track and that you're going to make it. And they're called tipping points. You may not notice them immediately, but you'll always notice them in hindsight. So today you'll discover what tipping points are, how to know that you're on the right track with your language learning, how to reach tipping points, and much more. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Buying Electronics Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn how to talk about electronics and what phrases to use at the store. Download it for free right now. Second, our printable visual flashcards. Want to speak more of the language? You'll need to learn more words. And with our new printable visual flashcards, you'll know over 1,500 words. Just download and print them out. Third, 30 must-know legal vocabulary. Learn how to say court, law, illegal, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fourth, how to talk about feeling excited. If you want to talk about your feelings, then this next lesson will teach you 13 words for excitement in just a few minutes. And fifth, must-know Mother's Day vocabulary. Can you say Mother's Day in your target language? You'll be able to with this quick 1-minute vocabulary lesson. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How tipping points will bring you closer to your language goals. Part 1. Why tipping points are crucial for confidence in language learning. So, what's a tipping point? A tipping point is a point that you reach, or a small victory, and it gives you confidence that you're going to make it. It's a sign that you're on the right track. Here's a non-language example. Imagine a gym on a Friday night. And not at 5 p.m., I mean at 10 p.m. What does it look like to you? It probably looks empty to me, like a library on a Friday night. But if you've ever been to a gym on a Friday night, there's a very interesting group of people. The most fit people you'll ever see are there. Why is this a big deal? Well, of all the things you could be doing on a Friday night, if you naturally decide to work on your fitness or any goal that you have, then that's a good sign. So what about language learning? It works the same way with languages. If you find yourself learning and practicing a language on a Friday night instead of watching Netflix, if you're taking language lessons with our innovative language learning app instead of playing a game on your smartphone, if you're watching our video lessons instead of watching random YouTube videos, then you've reached a tipping point. These are all examples of tipping points. It's when you, your actions, and your free time shift away from usual routines like watching TV towards the goals you really want, like mastering a language. That's a tipping point, and it's crucial for your confidence and overall language learning. It's evidence that you're on the right track and you're going to make it. And you might wonder, how is it evidence if I don't see any progress just yet? It does take a bit of time to make progress with language, but the answer is simple. Language learning is a lot like anything else you do in life. It comes down to where you put in your time. It's like Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule. You need time. Languages don't need 10,000 hours per se, but the principle is the same. If someone spends an hour every day on language and has done that for the past 2 years, that's a lot of time. So you can guarantee that this person is speaking the language with no problems, simply because of the time they put in. So what about you? How can you know if you're on the right track in reaching these tipping points? Let's get into the second part. Part 2. How you can tell when you're reaching a tipping point. Picture it like this. You're learning a language in your free time. You have a small goal set. Now, within your daily routines, you start making certain choices. Between watching TV and mastering a language, you start putting more time into language. Exactly. Last week, you started with 10 minutes of learning and 50 minutes of TV. Then it grows. You spend 20 minutes on language, 40 on TV, and then 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And soon it overtakes your typical routines. That's exactly how tipping points happen. So take a look at how much time you spend on a language and take a look at your recent choices of activities. If you're learning a language with your smartphone instead of playing a mobile game, if you're spending more time watching language videos instead of regular YouTube videos, and if you're learning on a Friday night as a personal choice, that's how you know you've reached a tipping point. Tipping points are something you won't notice immediately, but you will realize in hindsight. But the point is, when you find yourself choosing language over something else, that's a sign that you're going to make it. And if you want to actively reach these tipping points, then it's just a matter of putting in more time. Again, if you started with 10 minutes a day last week, bring yourself up to 11 or 12 minutes a day this week. Simply adjust your routine and add more time. For example, we often recommend you to set small, measurable goals with a deadline every month. So if you are, aim a little higher with your next goal. Add an extra few minutes to your routines. Now, back to you. Now that you learned about tipping points, do you think you've reached any? Leave us a comment. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about your first steps to learning a language, the Fundamentals Welcome Pack. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! You want to learn the language, but it's hard to find effective lessons that are made by real teachers and that actually build on top of each other, where you're learning new things and reviewing what you've already learned. Well, that's exactly how our audio and video lessons inside our learning program work. How to learn language fast with audio and video lessons. 4 tricks inside. In this guide, you'll discover 1. How to learn practical conversations in just minutes. 2. 4 tips that'll help you absorb the language and master lessons fast. And 3. How to get our brand new lessons for free. But first, if you don't yet have access to our learning program, click the link down in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. First, so, what makes these language lessons so effective? Each lesson is around 3 to 15 minutes in length, making it super easy to breeze through and absorb the language. You're not reading walls of text, but listening to actual native speakers teach you a language. Just press play to start. First, you hear a practical conversation. Then you hear it again slowly with translations. Then, our teachers explain the vocabulary, grammar points, and cultural nuances. Finally, you hear the conversation one last time, and at this point, you understand a lot more than you did the first time you heard the lesson, which is exciting for a language learner, especially when you didn't understand anything before. And you can even start speaking if you repeat along. All of this takes just a few minutes. Then, mark the lesson as complete and move on to the next lesson in our learning pathway, where you'll learn even more and get to review some of the words and grammar points from prior lessons. 2. There are a few special tips and tricks you can do to master the lessons even faster. You can read along with our free lesson transcript so that you can pick apart every word that you hear. You can immerse yourself with the premium dialogue track that gives you just the conversation, with no translations. If you have a question, you can leave a comment on the lessons and our teachers will respond. And you can replay and review the lesson as much as you want, so you can learn at your own pace. So, how do you get access to the lessons? You get the lessons the moment you sign up for a free lifetime account and set your level. Based on your level, you'll get a learning pathway of lessons that's right for you. Just start there with Lesson 1. You can also access your next lesson on the dashboard. And you can learn on the go, for example, on a walk, on your way to work, or while waiting in line at the store with our free app. And as an extra bonus, you get our newest lessons for free. We release 3 to 4 new lessons a week, so you get new lessons every week non-stop. Find them inside the Lessons drop-down menu, in Newest Lessons, or inside the menu on the app. But first, if you don't yet have access to our learning program, click the link down in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Do you feel like you don't speak enough of your target language? That you need to know more words? Then stick around. With these lessons, you'll pick up some of the most common words in just a few minutes. Now, this video is a small portion of our learning program. To get the full lessons, translations, and Fluency Fast study tools, click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account. Learning a language is tough because it's hard to remember every single thing that you learn. But what if you had a cheat sheet with the must-know words, phrases, and grammar rules, where you can glance through and review everything in a minute or two? If you do that enough times, then the language will become natural. How to learn a language 2 times faster with PDF cheat sheets. And in this guide, you'll discover 1. How to learn and retain hundreds of words and phrases with our cheat sheets, 2. How to unlock over 30 cheat sheets, and much more. But first, if you don't yet have access to our learning program, the lessons and special cheat sheets like this, click the link down in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. First, what are these cheat sheets? With our learning program, you'll learn the language with bite-sized audio and video courses, and as a bonus, you get PDF cheat sheets to help you review the language. These cheat sheets cover must-know topics like weather, family, talking about hobbies, and much more. There are over 30 cheat sheets inside. Inside each cheat sheet, you get the words, phrases, and helpful sentence patterns related to the topic that you can quickly review whenever you have a minute or two. Now, how can you learn faster with these cheat sheets? Just download a cheat sheet, print it, keep it nearby, and glance through as much as possible. Eventually, you'll know all of the words and phrases in and out, simply because you've seen the words enough times. It's all about exposure to the language. The more you're exposed to the language, the better you'll remember it. And you can always save the PDFs to your device, but having physical cheat sheets makes it easy to pick one up and glance through. Otherwise, they'll sit somewhere on your phone or computer, along with the many other language learning apps you haven't been using. How can you get access to our PDF cheat sheets? Just click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get our learning program and these bonus cheat sheets. Once you've signed up, come back to the special PDF lessons page by clicking the link in the description. Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools. Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.